Well then, it is day 4 on this alien world, and the sun has risen once more. I've built myself a basic exploration mech. We've done a little bit of exploring around and found a few resources. I think I need to go and mine some more and have a think about expanding the base a little bit. So, we've built our workshop, we've built an exploration vehicle, we've explored the local area a little bit now, and we've found some resources. So, my next objectives are going to be to mine some iron, because that hole that I'm drilling is just going to get out of hand soon. Then we'll need to build a docking bay for our exploration mech, because we need somewhere for that to live. Then I think I'll probably need to build a mobile drilling rig, so we can get some resources in a more efficient kind of way. And then I'll definitely need to increase our power output with either more wind turbines or maybe some solar panels. Before we do all that, I want to make a few little adjustments in here. I want to put that cargo container back, and maybe a few other bits. So let's have a look in here. Right, first of all, I'm going to put back the cargo terminal that I had in there. So let's go and get the bits for that. Right, that's my cargo container rebuilt. So I should be able to get access for my oxygen bottles a bit easier. Now, I'm tired of having to open and close this door every time I go through it, so I'm going to put a sensor up there, so we don't have to deal with that. Right, that's the sensor built. If I open the door when the sensor detects something, and close it when it doesn't. Awesome. Wicked, that makes life much, much easier. Now I want the same kind of setup for these two doors here. Can't really put a sensor there. I don't really want to put it on the wall. Let's have a look outside. Okay, so I might cut this block out here and then build a sensor there. We are going to need to get some more parts for. Then we could have another sensor there for the other door into the workshop. Right, let's go get those bits. Right, that's those two sensors welded up. I just need to quickly name them. Open and close on door number 1. There we go, that looks pretty good. And then we can open and close door number 2. Awesome. Right, both of them work nicely now. Okay then, so now that we've got those sorted out, I think we should probably go and have a little look for some iron. Go bring some of that back. Okay, so where was my iron? There it is, all the way over there. Right, let's go get some iron. And we can think about making a docking bay for this guy. Okay then, there's a load of iron right below us. We'll drill some of that out and take that back to base. And there we go. Finally found some iron. Right, we'll fill up on this. We'll take it back to base.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Okay, I think that's about as full as we're going to get for now. Let's head back home. Right, we'll get all this iron ore into our refinery. Right, now we just need to wait for that to process. And in the meantime, we can start laying out a foundation somewhere for this mech. I need to be able to connect him up to the conveyor network. And I think after that, we might need to build a better manufacturing system. So maybe some proper assemblers and a proper refinery. Right, where should we build this docking station? Okay, well, I think here will probably be the best spot, but first, let's get that 3 out of the way. I need that in the way while I'm trying to build. So, if we leave a 1, 2, 3 block gap, and we have it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 across. We don't need it to be as big as the workshop. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We will pop a rotor in the middle so we can make a rotating platform. Add a small head to the top of that. And then we can build the floor. So let's pop some of these corner pieces in the corners. We have some lines around the outside. And then we're going to need some room for our rotor to turn, so let's pop in a couple of these pieces. Let's take this one out. Right, let's get this foundation welded up, and then we can move on to the next bit. Right, now we can get this rotor welded up. Fantastic. Right, now we can build a platform. So, first of all, for this platform, we're going to start it off with the piston. Bury a little bit deeper. Its default position a little bit lower. Let's get the paint colour off that platform. Let's get those bits welded up. Right, that's the first bit of the platform done. Bend this out a little bit. Right, that's the last of them. We'll get these welded up too. And then we're going to need a rotor on top. Don't need that rotor head. Let's go get some bits for that. Right, that is the rotor done. Now I need to think about some walls and a roof and a way of connecting it up to the Mech. Let's have a little think about that. Okay then, so I'm going to build a few more windows around the outside. There we go, there's a basic roof sort of setup. Right, let's get all those bits welded up. And we need more steel plates again. Alright, let's go get some more. Oh, and we've run out of iron again. Okay, right. Back up the mountain for more iron.
Inventory full.
Right, that should do us for a little bit longer. And let's head back to the base again. Right, so there we go. That is the roof section. More or less done for now. So, we need to build a ramp to get in. I also need to take these down. So it would actually probably make a little bit more sense to line this Mech up when we're trying to think about how to design the ramp for it. So we'll have him there. I think actually I want to extend this out a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to need to go and get some steel plate. So if we have 1, 2, 3. Actually, I might make it 5, just to be safe. And we have 3 ramps across the middle, and a set of stairs either side. Yeah, it does need to be 5 wide because of his middle legs. Right, so we could drive him up into there. park him there for a second. Yeah, that should be enough space for him to turn around nicely. Cool, right. We will weld up these bits here. Okay, and that's construction components. And we are basically out of iron again. Right, let's get some more again. Back up the mountain.
Inventory full.
Right then, let's add a little bit more to these walls here. Get the front of the building finished off. Right then, now that we've got that stuff in place, we need to think about how we're going to make the docking connector for the back end of this warehouse. So first of all, we're going to have to connect this guy up and see where he sits. We'll raise them up to about there. Patch that. And then we can rotate the platform around and see where his back end sits. It's going to sit about there. So we need some kind of docking connector for that. Okay, so let's try putting a rotor up there. Swap that for a small head. Then we could piston onto there. And then we could have a connecting point on the end of that. We'd have another piston on there. And then we could have a connector on the end of that. Right, let's get all those bits welded up. Right, that's the docking arm kind of sorted out. At least it's welded up for now. Let's set these limits to 0. So it can't go anywhere. There we go. Right then, let's set up this piston arm. See if we can find a decent height for it. Right, 1.2, that looks alright. You get a mag connection like that. Yeah, that'll do. Don't have to get so close to smack into it. Okay. Right, that connects up. Fantastic. Right. Now, let's figure out the rest of the back of this building. And we're out of iron once again. And there's some left in the Mech. Right, anyway. Back up the mountain. We really need to build a better mining rig. I think that's going to be next on the list of things to do.
Inventory full.
Okay then, that is the last of the wall blocks, at least for now. A little bit dark in here. I'm going to cut that out. I think I'm going to build a computer in that gap. I need a bit of light in here. If we cut that block out either side and put some floodlights up there, like we did with the other one. One spotlight there. And another one up there. There's a bit of light. And there's a bit more light. Cool, we can see what we're doing in here now. So, we need to now think about this computer I'm going to build to control this docking station. So, if we pop a rotor into this gap, take that head off, and attach a small one, and then we can get this welded up. Right, that is our new computer rotor built. So, let's have a think about the things that we need to do and the things that we need to program. So, I want a switch to extend and retract that. And I want another switch to attach and detach that rotor. So that's 2. And then we need a third one to drop that. A fourth one to extend that. And a fifth one to lock that up. Okie dokie. So that'll be 5 lights all in all, and then we'll have a 6th one to act as an on-off switch for the entire system. So we need 6 lights, 6 event controllers at least. I need it to be able to be triggered remotely from inside the Mech. So we'll start the whole system off with a signal relay. We could have one. We can have another light there. Another light there. Right, so there you go. That is all of our control lights. Put the rotor back where it was. And it has just occurred to me, I forgot one of the lights. I need one for this platform to rotate. So it'll be 3 there, and it'll be 3 there. So I'll need an extra light to actually trigger the whole system, but we'll think about that one later. For now, let's get this welded. Okay, so we've got our 6 lights named. We've got one for the platform piston, one for the platform rotor that connects it, one for the platform rotor that spins it. We've got one each for each of the docking arms, and we've got one for the docking port. So, next we're going to need some event controllers to actually control these things. So we'll squeeze them into the side here. 1, 2, 3 for that side. 1, 2, 3 for that side. Right, let's weld these ones up too. Right, that's the event controllers welded up. So now we need to name them, and then we need to program them. Right, there is a little temporary control panel, so we can set all of this stuff up. Right, let's have a look at this control panel. So I've got all of these controllers, and I'm going to set them all up to be block switched on and off. And then we'll set up all the lights as the triggers for them. Right, now that those are all set up, we can go through and set up the actual controls. So, docking piston number 1. When that light turns on, it's going to extend, and when it turns off, it's going to retract. And we're also going to have the light change colour as well. So green when it's on, orange when it's off. And then docking piston 2 will basically be the same thing. Extend when the light is on and retract when the light is off. And we'll have that light change colours as well. And then we've got our docking port controller. And when the light is on, it will lock, and when the light is off, it will unlock. And that can also have a colour change. And then we've got our platform piston. Which will again extend when it's on and retract when it's off. And another colour change as well. And then platform rotor 1 and platform rotor 2. So platform rotor 1 will attach when it is on, and it will detach when it is off. And then we'll add the colour change in there. And then finally, platform rotor 2. And so this one will set velocity. We'll call it 5 RPM for the moment. And when it turns off, it'll be -5. And then another colour change. Let's give these a quick test. Piston light. That goes off. That goes on. Platform rotor 1, off, on. There we go, that's connected. And so when we turn that light on, it spins round into the correct orientation. Cool, that one works. And we've got docking piston number 1. And then we have docking piston number 2. And then we have docking port light, and that seems to be connecting. Fantastic. Right, all the bits and pieces work. Now we need to automate them. So when it comes to the automation, what we're going to do is we're going to drive the Mech in. We are then going to send a relay signal to that action relay there. The first thing that will do is extend that piston up. We need a vent controller for that. When that reaches full extension, it'll lock that down. When that is locked, it will turn that rotor. And then we'll have that piston extend down. Like so, and then we'll have that piston extend out, and I might do both of those actions together. And then the final thing, we will have that connector lock, and yeah, that should be it. So 4 event controllers, I think. That'll do. Let's reset everything. Okay, so that is our next set of event controllers. I'm just going to quickly name them, and then we can get programming them. Okay, so these docking stage controllers, number one, we are going to set that to piston position. We are going to have it set to greater than 100%, and we will be triggering it with the platform piston down here. So when that reaches its full extension, we are going to turn the platform rotor light number one on, so that that locks up. And then for docking stage 2, we are going to set it to the rotor hinge attached detached event. We are going to select platform rotor number 1, which is this one just here. And when that attaches, we are going to turn on platform rotor light number 2. So we'll give those first two stages a little test and see if they work properly. Turns that on, attaches that, spins around into position. Fantastic. Right, that's exactly what I wanted to happen. Cool, right, we'll reset that, and we'll set up the next bit. And so with docking stage number 3, we are going to set that to the rotor hinge angle event. We're going to set it to greater than 180%. And we'll set it to platform rotor number 2. And when it fully turns around, it will activate both of the docking piston lights. And then for docking stage 4, we are going to have it set to piston position greater than 100%. And we will set it to the docking piston number 1. And when that reaches full extension, it will turn the docking port light on, and hopefully lock the whole thing down. Okay then, let's give the full thing a proper test. So, turning on that first light, piston extends, it attaches, it spins round, and then the arm drops into place, and it locks down. Beautiful. Right, that is exactly what we wanted. Now we just need to make a few little tweaks here and there. Okay, so I've set up the light to all blink in sequence as well, so it looks a little bit prettier. And to control the docking system, we are going to have 2 event controllers, and then we'll have a transparent LCD as the trigger. Okay, now we'll weld those bits up. We'll give them a name, and we will set up the programming. But first I need to change that to be the other way around. There you go, that's better. Right, let's program it. Okay then, with this docking on and off switch, first thing we're going to do is we are going to set that LCD panel to just text and images, and then we will have it as just a basic danger sign for now. Keeps it nice and simple. And then for the docking on and off controller, it will be set to block switched on and off, and it will be looking at that LCD block. And when this LCD turns on, it is going to trigger the platform piston light turning on. And when it turns off, we are going to turn off the docking port light. We are going to turn off both of the docking arm piston lights. And we will turn off platform rotor number 2 light. And we will also turn on our docking detach controller. And then for this docking detach controller, what we're going to do is it's going to be set to rotor hinge angle. It's going to be set to less than 1, so just before it gets to the end of its limit. We're going to set it to look at platform rotor number 2. And then when it drops below 1 degree, it is going to turn off the platform rotor number 1 light and the platform piston light. and then it will also turn itself off. Now, hopefully, we can give this a little test. So if I turn that off and turn the LCD back on again, triggers the piston, which triggers the rotors, which spin around, which triggers those pistons, and then that locks into place. Awesome. Is it going to work in the other direction, or is it going to explode? Alright, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Everything detaches. Awesome. Sweet. I love it. Right, cool. Okay, let's set up the relay controls. Okay, so the docking relay. We'll just have that on channel 1 for now. And what we will do is when we set up the actions, in theory, all we have to do is turn that LCD on and off. Now, if we hop into the mech, we can set that up. And it would probably help if I actually had some relays on here. So let's just build 2 for now. And we'll get those welded up. That's 1. And that's 2. Right, we'll quickly name them. Right then, I have named those relays. One of them is going to be a spare for the moment, and one of them we're going to use for docking. So if I add that docking relay to my toolbar, then I send that signal. There we go. Oh, there we go. We are connected. We are spinning around. We are in position. And we're now locked. Fantastic. And if I send that signal again, everything detaches. And then I'm free to drive away. Awesome. Okay then, so to help with the docking and alignment, I think I'm going to put a couple of blocks either side that'll hopefully help it sit into position a little bit better. And if we add a few armor plates around here, there we go, that looks a little bit better. Okay then, so we will give that another test. We'll turn that light back on. There we go, it's locked into place. Spinning around. And he's docked up nicely. Wonderful. Turn it off again. Everything detaches. Everything spins back round. Sweet, amazing. I'm happy with that. I think for a few extra little bits of detail, we could stick a few of the scaffold blocks around the side of here. And just for fun, I might put some heat vents in there as well. There we go. I think that'll be our finished docking computer for now. Might need to make some more additions to it later on if we encounter any issues, but I'm pretty happy with it for the moment. Alright, sweet. Well then, we now have a docking station set up for our Explorer mech with an automated docking system. So next time I think I'm going to make a start on some kind of drilling rig.